Hi, welcome to March. We are so excited to share our family friends Donna and TK's recipe for moussaka for Greek Independence Day. And so, Walton, do you want to introduce them?
Yeah, so you might recognize Donna and TK from the card you got. This is from 1982 on what's the island you were at?
Zakynthos.
I struggle pronouncing that. They're going to teach us to make moussaka today. The recipe itself looks intimidating, but it isn't. It's one of our longer recipes, but you make gumbo with us, and it's the same style thing. We make these in layers, like making a lasagna. So, as we talk about this, let's think about the ingredients. It'll fall into different areas: eggplant, the meat, and the bechamel sauce. And so they're going to walk you through the ingredients, and then we'll sit there and put it all together and have a great dinner with family and friends tonight.
All right, so we need 4 eggplants, and we'll use the olive oil to brush the eggplants. You need 2 tablespoons of flour and salted butter for the roux to make the bechamel, with 2 cups of whole milk. Salt and white pepper always at the ready, and we often add 2 eggs to the bechamel to thicken it. You will grate kefalotiri or a Parmigiano Reggiano cheese on top. My husband has been experimenting with nutmeg and cinnamon in the bechamel sauce, which is a wonderful secret ingredient to add. And then 2 pounds of ground beef or lamb, or a mixture together with half a cup of olive oil to saute a half an onion. Sometimes a full onion, yes, and then half a cup of red wine, again the salt and pepper, and oregano to taste, 2 garlic cloves at least chopped in there.
I put 5.
And you put 5, all right. I put 2. And then we do 5 ripe tomatoes or nice Italian stewed tomatoes, a big can.
Okay, so we've gone through the ingredients, we've talked about the steps, we've talked about how great Greek food is. Now we're going to actually make it. And Donna and TK are going to teach Ben how to do this, and I'm going to stay on the side and make commentary throughout this that probably will be cut from the film. And Ben's going to go over and learn how to make moussaka with you guys.
Perfect. So where do we start?
Well, okay, let's start with eggplant. Top, a little bit of the bottom, so it can sit up, and then slice a little bit on each side, because you need to have flat sides on each slice. And you see why. When you start slicing about 1/3 of an inch, the reason I cut it is so when you turn it over, both sides are flat and both sides are going to be grilled correctly. So you finish slicing this, and then the little secret before it goes on the grill, then you start adding a little bit of olive oil on each slice. You brush this because you need the olive oil for this to be grilled correctly. So you put this face down.
Okay.
Oh, it started smoking. Okay.
This way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Keep about 6 minutes, and then you're gonna turn it over, and then you're gonna do the rest of them. As this cook, then you splice a little bit more olive oil on the other side. So that way, when the first side is ready, then you turn it over in about 5 minutes, then everything is ready.
Perfect.
As the eggplant gets cooked, then you have enough time to start preparing the onion and the ground beef.
Right. Ben will need like half a cup of olive oil to saute, so just start pouring it in there.
You can just...
we don't use measuring cups. I mean, after you've cooked
Yeah,
that
you
long, you know through the years how much half a cup is in there. So just pour that in there, and we will start sauteing the diced onion. It needs to not caramelize. Don't ever let it go that long, because it'll lose its flavor. It's too sweet in the ground beef. Okay, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you'd place your Yeah, and you can use your spoon. You'll be using that to do a lot of twirling and twisting. Now we don't add the garlic yet because the more garlic cooks, the more it loses its flavor.
Okay.
You add it after you have browned the ground beef.
Oh, the
And the ground beef and the onions. We like to use a deep pot so it doesn't splatter. This will take the longest time, especially if you make it in a big pan.
So we just mash these up.
Yeah, mash those up. Keep this going. Yeah, once it starts sizzling, the fragrance of the onions will come out. Now you can add the ground beef in there.
Okay.
All right, so we'll add that and start breaking up the ground beef. And when it is broken up, then we'll certainly add the salt and pepper. That takes a while to brown. Then we add our sprinkle of oregano, as much as you want. But oregano can get bitter in the ground beef, so don't add a lot. Don't overdo it. Can't ever have too much pepper. Yeah, make sure you break up the beef good. It helps it cook faster too. We don't want big chunks of beef. See, that's why it's helpful to have two people working a moussaka. We love our garlic press. We use it very often. Right. So let's get our garlic press. 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Now get it in there. Is this a first for you?
Garlic press?
No, just working with ground beef.
Does it look that way?
No.
When you're grilling the eggplant slices, make sure they're soft enough because it will surprise you if they don't get soft enough. Although they're going to be in the oven for almost an hour, they will still come out hard.
Now, let's add, we said either 5 ripe tomatoes, or I have a large can of the Italian plum tomatoes. And you can lower, if it's sizzling too much, then do lower your burner. We'll say about half a cup of a sweet, heavy red wine like a Cab or this Marsala. And that adds a wonderful flavor, and that certainly needs to cook in and evaporate.
These slices are enough to go the bottom of the pan for the first layer. Make sure you have good coverage. Don't leave anything. You got plenty. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Can you double up or?
Yeah. There you go. Okay. The milk that's gonna go to the bechamel, it has to be warmed up a little bit.
Don't add cold milk to a roux of flour and butter. It will never thicken. Warm up your milk separately. You could do it in a microwave.
Start with 4 ounces of salted butter. Start the heat low. Start moving a little bit like this until it completely melts. And then the magic begins. Okay, now once it melts, then you add slowly, you add you start with 4 full spoons into the butter. No, make sure it's okay. So start adding what you see here.
So 4?
4 of them.
Do I?
No, don't worry about it. Then you start spreading it around. Now you start mixing, and you go round and round and round and round, and okay. Now the fire has to be low.
So you're on low heat.
I use the bottom of the. It spreads it better. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Now make sure it's absorbed completely, and there's not, because if the
They're like little
flour
blobs.
is not absorbed, then you're gonna start having little balls of solid thing, and you don't want that. Okay, so it's not thick enough yet. So you start adding one at a time. You see that little thing here? Make sure there you go.
Here's one.
From now until it's done, you go round and round and round and round. So now you start adding one. This is the most tedious part of this recipe.
See, this is not nearly as challenging as I was led
Yeah,
to
but the
believe.
thing is, you cannot stop. I mean, it's okay. You need a little bit more. And I think it's going to take one more at least. Yeah, you're almost done.
Whoop.
Okay, now you start a little bit and go around. Make sure the milk is absorbed. And then you add a little bit more. And a little bit more. You don't let it dry. Okay. And a little bit more. It's a very slow process, but now you need a little bit more.
Sorry.
I use the bottom of the, you have better result. What you see happening from deep yellow now start getting white, and that's the color that you want.
Yeah.
From the milk, yes, of course.
Remember, once you start, you cannot stop until this baby is ready. You're getting there. Okay. There you go. There you go. It's getting smoother and smoother.
And more liquidy, yes. Okay.
Oh,
The
yeah.
consistency, you don't want it to be like mashed.
I mean, you can
Exactly.
feel the resistance, and the more
Less.
resistance you feel, the more milk it is.
Yes.
That's a beautiful, beautiful color. Another sign that you're doing well is when you see it becoming smooth. Then you know you're success. You have a successful bechamel sauce. Towards the end, be conservative with the milk. Few drops, few drops, few drops. I think you're, Donna, what do you think?
I think it looks great.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
you
color
have
is perfect.
to- Right, and Greek
The
cooking takes
texture,
patience.
the texture looks good.
Yep. Looks good, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the last thing. You're done, and then you turn it off.
And so what are we putting in now?
You're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. That gives it a distinctive taste. You're done. Turn it off. Make sure it's off now. Okay. Now, you add a little bit, not too much, because remember cinnamon is strong and it may give it a bitter taste. Again, nutmeg, it's even stronger than cinnamon. That's it.
So you can see we've got our basic components now done. Everything's been cooked. You've got your eggplants, you've got your meat sauce, you've got your bechamel, and you've got your cheese. And it really wasn't that bad, was it, Ben?
No, it was very easy.
Good.
Especially when you help.
I'm glad
Especially
you
when-
think so. That's great.
So we're gonna put it all together and then show you how the final product goes.
So we put down this first layer of eggplant, and then we put this on top?
Yes.
Okay.
Start adding slowly.
Yeah, don't,
Make
yeah, because
sure
I
you
always mush up and move my eggplant. So,
Give me any pointers I need.
yeah, no, you're doing good. And yeah, and remember, you'll be working with a larger pan, longer layer of eggplant. And TK is right, do it slowly so you don't mush and move around the eggplant. You've got a lot more meat to spread around in your larger pan when you make it for groups of people.
Yeah, we've got too much here, so.
Yeah, he'll smooth it out.
See, 1 pound of meat, barely enough for this.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
Then the second layer of
Yeah.
eggplant.
Have to do that. Otherwise, your bechamel will just seep into your ground beef. It won't be a separate layer. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry.
All right.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, very good.
And now
And now the bechamel.
we just spread it on top.
What I do,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
me. I pick up the whole thing, and then I start going around as it drops.
Okay.
Make sure it goes
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's
Start
a little
working
easier.
on it now.
Yeah. Well,
There you go.
okay. All right.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now, the very last step. The reason we put a little bit of this cheese, when it's baked, it gives it an extra layer of.
Really crunch. It's a
Crunch.
nice little crunch too.
Make sure it goes everywhere.
Yes. Let's set our oven at 350.
And how long do we bake this for?
How long?
50 minutes minimum. Then you take it out, and if it's brown enough, you would know that it's done.
Depends upon the size of the pan.
If it's bigger than, it will take an hour.
This, how long would this take?
I will put my timer at 45 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 45
And then
minutes.
check it at 45 minutes.
Right. Wonderful, a labor of love. That's fabulous.
As you can see, this
Wasn't
isn't a difficult process. It's actually a really enjoyable process. Making the food is just as much fun as eating the food. It really is a labor of love. And so this was made yesterday, so it's the magic of TV. We could pull something out and show you something made while the other's getting cooked. This is one made yesterday. It's the size for the recipe we gave you in the card. So this is what yours will look like when it's finished. Notice the brown top, notice the color, the texture. That's the way this should appear when you make it. Donna?
I think it turned out real good. And Ben is going to be an expert at doing this after doing his bechamel sauce and putting that cheese on there. After you bake it, let it sit for a while after you take it out of the oven. Don't immediately try to cut it and serve it. Let it firm up.
We deliberately try to serve it the following day. Let all day cool down, put it in the fridge,
Overnight.
take it out. But when it's cold, that's when you cut it. It cuts even better.
Easy to
and
cut
then
and
warm it up.
And then heat it up.
So any final thoughts? Donna, TK?
No,
I think we had a good experience, good cooperation, good coordination.
Ben is a great cook. Now we know Walton
I
is.
thought it was going to take longer, but it did not. So that gives you an idea of, although for Ben it was first time, it was done.
It was easy.
Yeah, it was done
Yeah.
in a very reasonable amount of time.
Quick aside, in case you don't know, Donna and TK actually teach cooking at the Dallas Greek Food Festival. So make sure when it comes up and the festival is here, join them and go learn how to cook so many other fun Greek recipes. They're amazing.
It's the first weekend of November every year.
Yes.
Come join us.
I learned how to cook from them at the first Greek food festival I went to several years ago. I've even got the apron to prove it.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, you need to however large a piece you want to share with others. Then cut a nice square.
And cut a decent one for me. Don't go small.
No, that's coming out nicely.
Pretty
Yay!
good. Oh my gosh, there you go.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
good. All right.
God, that smells so good.
Good. You should.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, let's see. How does it taste?
Let's see how that tastes from.
It's really good.
Oh, delicious.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
Nice.
sharing this with us.
You can really taste the nutmeg. It's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our pleasure, Ben.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you absolutely loved this recipe, and we will see you again next month.
Opa!
Bye. All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Great recipe. You're
so much.
amazing. And
Thank
you're
You're a
amazing, TK.
sweetie.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
You're a sweetie.